So first of all, thank you all of you. So thank you for joining the Academic Success Spotlight series on health and wellness. My name is Deidre Lam and I'm the creator of the series. I'll be your facilitator today. With me is Darius Itaji, Customer Service and Outreach Coordinator for Athletics and Recreation. And we have Stacy D'Souza, Health Promotion Programs Lead, and she's with Health and Wellness. And both of them will be our panelists today. As well, we have Charlene Ahmed. She is my math support assistant, and she'll be the moderator for this webinar. Let me go over a few housekeeping items before we start. If you have questions about the slide we presented, you can ask questions through the Q&A section on Zoom. Please monitor the questions from your peers, as they might be the ones you want to know as well. So everyone has an upvote button. Adding an upvote to a question, let us know how important that question is to everyone at the webinar. If possible, please save your questions for the Q&A segment at the end of the webinar. Charlene will be monitoring all questions. As such, I will ask that all students be respectful when posing your questions. Any inappropriate comments might result in us reporting them to Non-Academic Integrity Office, and that is definitely not the way to start the school year. We will record this session. As soon as the recording comes available after the webinar, we will post this on the Math Ready video resource bank, and you can Charlene will grab the link from the video bank, and basically you'll be looking at, I believe, and Charlene, can you confirm which video number the student will be watching? So Charlene will actually let you know which video you'll be watching, should you be interested to rewatch this video. You can enable the live captioning at the bottom of the screen. Okay, just hover around the bottom and you'll be able to see live captioning. So let me give you a general overview of what to expect in this webinar. We'll start with a land acknowledgement. We're going to go back to Menti and do a followed by an intro activity. Then Darius is going to go over the athletics and recreation. She's going to do a live demo. And then Stacy and myself, we will be presenting the health and wellness presentation, and also we'll be doing like live demonstration as well. Following that, we will have a Q&A session. If you have any questions, you can post it to us. And if you also want a student perspective, Charlene will be happy to answer your question as well. Then we'll let you know how to get in touch with us. We'll be sending you a little survey before we send you off for the rest of the day. So let me start off with a land acknowledgement. Toronto is in the Dish with One Spoon territory. The Dish with One Spoon is a treaty between the Anishinaabe, Mississaugas, and Haudenosaunee that bound them to share the territory and protect the land. Subsequent Indigenous nations and peoples, Europeans, and all newcomers have been invited into this treaty in the spirit of peace, friendship, and respect. As settlers here in Canada, some by choice and others not, it is important that we recognize and remember that this land, its resources, and its history was stolen from its Indigenous peoples. It is important for us to acknowledge that our opportunity to come here today and to share space with one another is as a result of a long legacy of colonialism. Colonialism which continues to impact the lives of many Indigenous peoples and communities across Canada today. Colonialism that we as settlers continue to benefit from. Land acknowledgements can be uncomfortable and unsettling as they encourage us to reflect and be critical of our Canadian history. But land acknowledgements alone are merely an invitation to acknowledge ourselves in relation to this history, an invitation to acknowledge how we perpetuate this history, and an invitation to acknowledge how we contribute to a changing history. And so with this land acknowledgement, I encourage and remind myself and everyone here today to reflect and honor the truth and passive land on which we sit, lean into the discomforts that arise when we do, and work actively with this discomfort to seek new learnings and unlearnings about the land we collectively call home. Now I can see that we have some newcomers who join us. So if you could please use your phone or open a new tab in your computer, just type in menti.com and enter the code 85913576 and let us know which faculty you belong to. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to log in and answer the first questions before we move into the second question. So far we have 1 student from Community Services and 2 from TRS. Oh, we have 1 from Faculty of Science. That's great. Two from Faculty of Science. Excellent. Now I'm going to switch to the next slide. Can you enter and let us know which program you're in? I think while you're doing this, I think, one reflection I have, especially during COVID, is that how important, recreation and health and wellness is, because we're all cooped up, in indoors. And there's simply no way you can, stare at the screen and do Zoom lectures, nonstop without a break. So I think that to be a tip-top student, you always have to be, you're always on, essentially, right? And you want to be in your tip-top shape, and the best way to do it is take breaks, do some, just even mini workout, stretches, even for 5-10 minutes. If you have more time, do longer, right? It's really good for your mental health. And also, during the school year, there might be time when you think, oh my God, this is just too much. And, I would like to talk to someone, whether it's your academic advisors or whether it's a counselor who can help you out. So this session is all about that. How can we help you to be strong mentally, physically, to go through a very rigorous university curriculum? Okay, thank you for letting me know. So we have people from biomedical sciences, early childhood, finance, accounting, and computer science. So thank you very much for letting me know. So we're going to go to the live demonstration segment. So I'm going to stop the sharing and I'm going to let Darius take over.
Thank you, Deidre. I don't know if you can see my screen here.
Yes.
Perfect. I'll just move this to the side. All right. Fantastic. Thank you so much for that wonderful intro. I think you highlighted a massive important point there. What we actually call it, what you were talking about, is movement as a learning strategy, where studies actually show that it is important and it is helpful for students to take a break once in a while and just stay active, to stay at their tip-top shape. It helps them with studying longer and also just staying more focused during their studying. So thank you so much for bringing up that fantastic point. I couldn't have explained it any better than that. So my name is Darius, as Deidre mentioned. I'm the Customer Service and Outreach Coordinator, and I'll just be walking you through a few of the different programs and facilities that we have at Athletics and Recreation. So at TMU, we have a variety of recreational spaces and programs that positively contribute to students' wellness that are all included in your tuition. So I'm going to be going through a few of those. First, here we have the Mattamy Athletic Center, which can be found on 50 Carlton Street. The MAC is home to our MAC home court, which is home to our varsity teams. So if anyone's ever looking to join any of the varsity teams or come attend some of the games and join the school spirit, this is where most of our home games take place. I'll just move over to the next one. Next, we have our MAC Fitness Center. The MAC Fitness Center, as you can see, is filled with the training equipment, as well as our top line studio, as you can see here, which is also can be used as a place to work out. Lastly, the MAC is also home to our Mattamy Home Ice, which is home to the TMU Bold hockey teams, as well as a variety of events that take place. Right. Next, I'll be going over the Recreation Athletic Center, also known as the RAC. The RAC is, sorry, just again here. The RAC is located in the Crow Hall Quad. We have many amenities that are available in the RAC, including specialized workout areas, the functional training room, just quickly show you here, which is used for like CrossFit workouts, and the cardio strength training room for cardio specific workouts. On top of that, we have the RAC Fitness Center, which you may find here, which is home to our stationary equipment, as dumbbells, as well as squat racks and whatnot. TMU's aquatics program, as you can see here with our pool, we also have a pool that's available, is home to our 25-yard or 6-lane pool. We have 2 open gyms as well at the RAC, where we have drop-in sports throughout the semester, like volleyball, badminton, and soccer. And as well as all our group fitness classes take place at the RAC that you can find scheduled here. The last facility I'm going to talk to you about is the Crow Hall West facility. So this is one of our larger gyms. And the Crow Hall West facility is located in Crow Hall West in the upper and lower gyms. And in this space is where a variety of our clubs will take place. So our badminton clubs, archery clubs, and as well as our drop-in and intramurals activities take place in these gyms. So this is just a little bit about the 3 facilities that we have: the MAC, the RAC, and the Crow Hall gyms. Next, I'll go over our programs. As mentioned briefly before, we have a variety of programs within the Athletics and Recreation Department. As you can see here, we have the aquatics program. In the aquatics program, we offer lane swim. We also offer swimming lessons that can all be accessed through using your TMU One card as soon as you enter into the RAC. So for those of you that are not too familiar with how to swim or would like to learn how to, our aquatics program is fantastic for that. We also have our first aid and certification CPR programs here. And we partnered with the Red Cross and the Life Saving Society to get students certified in whatever they might need there. There's also a variety of clubs, as you can see here, that are available to you, from recreational to competitive to varsity clubs. So there's different levels for depending on how comfortable you'd like to be. Next, I'll talk about our drop-in. We also have a variety of drop-in programming, which is both facilitated and recreational, meaning that we have staff there to make sure that everybody gets a chance. And then we also have our regular drop-in where students can just come in and play a sport, whether badminton, soccer, volleyball, anything they might be interested in there. We also offer group fitness classes every weekday of the week, such as Zumba, yoga, spin, and barre. So there's something for everyone. And then lastly, there's also the TMU intramurals programs, which is a great way to get engaged and just learn about the different things that are going on campus and make some friends in the meantime as well. I'd also like to highlight our women's only program. So at TMU Athletics and Recreation, we're looking to be more inclusive and provide space for all students at TMU. This includes our women's only programming, which is designed to ensure that women of all backgrounds and abilities feel safe to use our facilities and programs. This program is aimed to address the historical and present day underrepresentation of women in sports and recreation. So a few of the different women's only programs that we provide are the fitness center. So starting with the fitness center and track at the rack, we have 1.5 hours every day from Monday to Friday, where we section off the fitness center for women's only time. We also offer women's only trans and gender diverse lane swim times. And then we also offer our drop-in sports, which has different sections of women's only. So we might have a women's only soccer drop-in or women's only volleyball drop-in. Lastly is our intramurals programs as well, which also offers women's only leagues for certain sports such as soccer, volleyball, and badminton. And you can learn more about that on our intramurals page as well. For anyone looking to gain some job experience there, we have a variety of job opportunities coming up for the fall. So part-time on-campus jobs as well as full-time during the summer semester, and those can all be applied for through the Career Boost portal. We have job opportunities available in all different units within our department, as you can see here, from our aquatics to our customer service to our facilities as well. Lastly, I'm also excited to just tell you a little bit about our orientation week. So during orientation, I believe starting on the 27th of August, we'll be hosting a variety of amazing events, such as our women's only glow in the dark or GLOGA. We'll also have our rec day where you can come visit our facilities and learn a lot more about our programming and spaces in person and get to know our staff. I encourage you to follow us on Instagram at RecreationTMU to stay posted. And I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. Thank you so much. Back to you, Deidre.
Hold on, Darius, do you mind going to the movement program website so you can show students, the different type of movement breaks they can take? That one is really cool, and I can tell you myself, during the day when I'm getting a little bit tired and I think my brain needs a little bit extra oxygen, I also go into their movement break website, and that is absolutely amazing.
Of course, I'd be happy to. Let me just share my screen here. So yeah, this is our movement breaks page. Julie, let me know if you can see it.
Yes, I can see it.
And we have something here for anyone. So from 0 to 3 minutes, from 3 to 6 minutes, and it's just a few clips of something that you can take a quick break in the middle of your studying session. You just get up, watch a video and its instructional, shows you step by step on what to do, and then you see how you're feeling afterwards. And most of the studies that we've shown and all the people that we've spoken to always say they're feeling energetic and ready to go back into studying. So I definitely suggest taking a look at this page as well. It's just
Darius, can you click on the 3 to 6 minutes?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
There we go.
And if you so you can so the tab, it says you can get moving, and so there are stretching exercises, there are mini dances, something for abs and core, like different upper body workout. It's a lot of fun. And if you go into the other tab, the unwind, yeah, that's where you have some breathing meditation, like different types of meditation, and it's absolutely wonderful. I use that a lot. And Darius, correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys pose like new workouts. Is it every week you have new workouts or new meditation?
Yes. So it really depends on which program we're looking to do here, but yeah, almost every month we'll post a new video for students to get engaged in.
Yeah, so make sure you tag this page. Is under the programs page, and definitely check this out. It's a lot of fun.
Fantastic.
All right, so back to me. Let me to my share screen. Hold on a second. All right, so now we're going to go into the health and wellness session. Let me just call up that page first. Yeah. So under student well-being, we have academic accommodation support. Test Center, and Thrive TMU. There's also health promotion programs, Center for Student Development and Counseling, and the Medical Center. I'm going to start off with academic accommodation support and Test Center first, and then Stacy will go over the rest with the rest of you. So actually, I'm going to jump. As a matter of fact, I'm going to jump into the live segment while we're talking about this. So hold on a second. So academic accommodation support, as we call it, AAS in short, is Toronto Metropolitan University's Disability Resource Center. A part of student well-being, AAS provides resources, education, training, and direct services such as academic accommodation plans in order that people with disability may have an equal opportunity to participate and achieve in higher education. And you can learn more about it in this academic accommodation support website. And Shaolin is going to post this on the chat box for you. Now, on this website, you can begin the registration process as soon as your TMU online identity, including your university email, is activated. So I'm going to go click on how to register, and then you're going to come to this page. Now, on the top of this page, you're going to see a hyperlink that says activated. Now, probably most of you have not activated your TMU email at this point in time. But if you click into it, it will let you know that the timeline for getting your TMU identity will be in the fall term in late July. And then, so you should be able to do it now. And then for the winter term is mid-December. And here it basically leads you through activating your online identity. So it just basically show you step by step. So follow these steps, and then you'll be able to set up your email and your username. Now, to be added to the AAS email list for incoming students, which will include information about timelines for registration, you can complete the AAS incoming student contact form, and Shaolin is going to link that in the chat for you. Once you have activated, then there are basically two ways that you can start registering for AAS. And the earlier you register, the better, because you can imagine, especially in August, there will be a lot of people who needed support with the doctor's recommendation and all the psychoeducational assessment. So basically, essentially, there are two ways you can register. The first one is called the traditional registration option, in short, TRO. These are for students who would like an actual virtual registration appointment with a student accommodation facilitator. But that will take a bit longer. Now they have what we call an express registration option, ERO. And ERO is for students who do not require a registration appointment with a student accommodation facilitator. So basically, there's this link at the bottom. If you go into it, it will give you, all the instructions on uploading all the documentation that you need. Personally, if I were to make you a recommendation for those people who will be registering with AAS, I would suggest go through the express registration, have all your documentation uploaded first, so that at least you're set, and then you can book an appointment with a student accommodation facilitator and to go over perhaps your specific needs, because at that point they can always make changes and accommodations for you. Also wanted to go into just the program and services, just to give you a glimpse of what are some of the program and services that academic accommodation students might be entitled to. So inclusive learning, Strive, there's peer advisor support, peer note-taking, the SHIFT program. I highly recommend this. If you want a smoother transition to the university, then check out the SHIFT. AAS Summer Orientation Program for students with disability. There's also financial support and community connections. So check these out because this will be helpful. Just also want to show you that some of you might be booking, we'll be writing your midterm or test in the test center. So go over this test center website. I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to have Stacy share the screen, and she will continue with the rest of the presentation. Yeah, Stacy, don't worry.
Yes, thank you. I'm just going to share now. Just give me a minute, please.
Sure. You're muted, Stacy.
I'm having some technical difficulties at this end. You know what, Deidre, do you mind putting back up the PowerPoint, and I'll just nudge to
Sure.
move the slide for me?
Yeah, and please give me 1 second.
Great, thank you so much, Deidre. So good morning, everyone, and a very warm welcome to TMU. We're so excited that you are going to be students of TMU and you're going to be starting this semester. So as Deidre so lovely highlighted some of the services that are under student well-being, we really want to make you very aware of sort of what are all of the supports you have to really support your physical and mental well-being so that you can have academic success. So I am going to now speak to some of the other services that are under student well-being. As Deidre just went over academic accommodations in the test center, I'm going to speak a little bit about the health promotion service, the Center for Student Development and Counseling, also known as the Counseling Center, and the Medical Center, which make up what's called the Student Integrated Health and Wellbeing. And I'm also going to touch a little bit about the Thrive TMU program. Next slide. So health promotion. So who are we? What do we do? So really we are a unit in under student well-being that really focuses on developing programming for you guys as students that really tries to make sure you have information that you need so that you can make good choices for your health and well-being. So we are not a clinical program, but a lot of the programming that we do, so we run events and activities and workshops, and a lot of the work that we do complements a lot of what's considered clinical work. And when I say clinical, what I mean by that is I mean counseling supports. So if you're someone who would like to get connected with our counseling center, or you're working already with teams in the community, you've got your own therapist, or you're working with a doctor or a specialist in the community, a lot of the programming that we offer will complement the work that you're doing with them. All of our staff in our programs, they're trained professionals. So we do have student staff as well, but they go through a very vigorous training with us to ensure that they're equipped to support you all, the students. Next slide. So one of the series that I wanted to highlight for you is a series that we're launching this fall, and we're very excited about it. It's called the Connect to Your Health series. So this is a workshop series that are encompassing various sort of aspects of student life that we've often heard students talk about, that we wanted to kind of offer some supports to students to address these things that students have often shared our concerns. So the first workshop series that we're offering, and if you haven't signed up for it already during this Jumpstart program, you can sign up for it for sure in September. We're going to likely be offering it every month, is what we're calling Wellbeing Supports at TMU. But since you're taking this workshop, you already have the knowledge, so you may not need to take this one. But the Wellbeing Supports at TMU is basically a workshop like this, where it gives students all of the knowledge that they need to understand all of the wellbeing supports that we have here, that they can build a well-being plan for themselves and know how to support themselves. We're going to be offering a stress management workshop. So typically we hear from students a lot, stressors come up and you're stressed out. So this is going to be a workshop to help students learn how to support themselves when stressors come up, and tips that they can implement into their lives. We're going to do something around safer substance use, healthy relationships. Later on in the year, we're also going to be developing something around healthy eating on a budget, and then also looking at something more specific to target test anxiety. And these are all things that we know as part of student life, and depending on what's happening for you, these are all skills that we've heard from students that would be helpful to have. Oh, we're just gonna fast track through again. So some of the other things that we do in health promotion is we run different events throughout the year, and some of those events, we've got a substances and TMU campaign that we typically run yearly, and this is in March, end of February, early March. So if you're someone that wants to learn more about substances, or you have friends or family and you're like, hey, having a sense of what's happening around substances could be helpful. So we really come at it from information and sort of a harm reduction approach, so that again, you can have the knowledge you need to make informed choices about if you're going to choose to use or not use. And it's everything from using alcohol to vaping and things like that. We also are partnering with Thrive TMU program, and we're going to be highlighting some of the workshops that they do, and some additional things that we offer, something mental health for pals. So if you want to know how to support yourself or others in crisis, this could be a workshop that could be helpful. And then throughout the year, we partner with various community agencies, and they sort of come in and they do some programming for students based on their expertise. So just a little bit about the Thrive TMU program. So Thrive TMU is a wonderful program that, I would really strongly encourage that, you do take it. Deidre has been talking, and you've been doing a lot about learning supports and how to support your academics. And the Thrive TMU is a really helpful complement to that. So it's a 10-week program, and it's really designed to help students achieve academic success. And it does a really nice job of integrating both skills that you might need to support you in your academics, and skills that you might need to support you in your well-being so that you can support your academics. And some examples of these skills are there's a lot of learning strategies that they will discuss. So everything from how to deal with procrastination, or, I'm struggling to get started with an assignment, what are some tools that I can use to kind of get me motivated to get started. Things like, how do you hold self-compassion for yourself, especially when you're stressed out and things are feeling, overwhelming. How do you, kind of keep optimism, and what are some skills, things like mindfulness skills. So Darius and Deidre highlighted some of the mindfulness workshops that are available on the Recreation page, right? So how to incorporate skills like that into your day-to-day to make them regular routines for yourself, and not something that you do once in a while, right? So these are all of the things that the Thrive TMU series supports students with. One of the other things in health promotions that we do, and this is something that's new that we're launching, I would strongly encourage that you check it out, is our peer support program. So when we talk about peer support, what do we mean? It's basically sort of an emotional and practical support between two people who have a shared lived experience. And that shared lived experience sometimes is centered around mental health concerns, or it could be mental health illnesses. So for example, if I'm somebody who struggles with anxiety, I can connect with another person who's had some lived experience with anxiety and really talk to them about my experiences and get some supports around how to cope efficiently and effectively with my anxiety. So the experiences, though, can also be the student experience. So one, you kind of now navigating university life, and another student who maybe have gone through and have sort of come out of the other end. So they've got that lived experience of what it's like to be a new university student. We can also have experiences of things like racism or collective trauma. And an example of collective trauma could be, you know, what's going on right now with, you know, the war in Ukraine, or you know, what's happening in Afghanistan or the Middle East, and you know, having conflict there and war conflict. So if you're someone that came to Canada and now you've got like that experience, right, or an international student experience, right, that could be a common shared experience. These services are offered either through groups or they're offered one-on-one. You know, sometimes we will come to you, so they can be offered in the Faculty of the Arts or in Faculty of Engineering, you know, lounge or something like that. But typically they can be there where we offer them through groups or one-on-one practices. And just to reiterate, these are not clinical work, as I said, but it's a complement to clinical work. And the reason we want to highlight that is because for a lot of students, you know, if they're working with someone, especially in a one-on-one peer support setting, it could feel very therapy-like. So we just want to highlight that, you know, it's not a substitution for therapy, but it's a complement to therapy. So if we're not doing clinical work, what are we doing? So our goals are, as I said, again, is to complement other types of treatments and support. So you could be going to the rec and work out and exercising, also doing some mindfulness, and then also attending peer support, right? So all of those things are welcome and important to you building a well-being plan. We really try to help students facilitate like self-determination and kind of like, you know, empowerment through empathic listening and validation. Like those are some of the skills that we use. We really try to promote an understanding and self-compassion, and more importantly, inspire hope, right? So especially when things kind of feel overwhelming or doom and gloom, like, you know, peer support can really help you keep that hope and that optimism that you can get through this. And it's a way to connect with resources, well-being resources, so we can help with service navigation around well-being resources. So some of the common things that peer support, you know, we've been working with students on supporting them with things like managing school and work life and trying to have that work-life balance, right? Navigating friendships, navigating families, like we've been dealing with supporting students who've had a lot of family concerns, right? So how do you kind of have that balance between family expectations and school life and a social life? Loneliness and isolation has come up a lot this past year. Dealing with uncertainty, a lot of students have spoken to us about not sure, being worried about what happens after graduation, will they get a job and things like that. So having space and holding space to kind of talk through that with someone. Building your own self-confidence, again, self-exploration and self-discovery, coping with various types of stressors, including dealing with sadness and anxiety, dealing with grief and loss, and really understanding the healthcare system and, again, health resources. So a lot of our peers, you know, because of their own lived experience, have had to access supports within, whether it's the Ontario medical system, so they understand how to navigate that system and can support you in either navigating that system or navigating the system within TMU. So some of the reasons we would want you to consider peer support is it's low barrier and quick access, right? So literally you go on our website, and I'll walk us through that very quickly, and you sign up for the group, or you click with the peer support worker that you want to work with, and you click a booking time, and you book a time to see them. So very low barrier. We do have a screening form that we'll ask you to fill out, and then you can basically book your first appointment. Peer-led, right? So these are folks that will understand what you're experiencing and going through, and can really, validate and support you from their experiences and help you learn from their experiences. We do have access. So being part of the student wellbeing services, we can support you in doing what we call a warm handoff to other services within the student wellbeing umbrella if you need those services, for example, counseling or the medical center. We're able to help you advocate for yourself and for other students. It's a space where you can come and talk and reflect, and we can help you problem solve. And more importantly, we can help you build some social connections here as you're starting your academic journey. So some groups that we have launching this fall is we've got a self-discovery group. We've got a group around building helpful habits. So similar to Thrive TMU, if you would like to kind of learn how to build some habits that will support your well-being, this is a group that we would highly recommend. And we've got a group where you can come and just talk about your experiences of dealing with sadness or depression. And then we're also doing individual peer support. So just pivoting now to the counseling center. So you might have heard we have a counseling center. If you haven't, it's good to know that we have a counseling center. And what's important to note about the counseling center is they do individual counseling, group counseling, they do crisis support. So if you're someone who is dealing with an imminent urgent concern, you can contact the counseling center and get some supports. And then we also have access to what we call safe housing. This is for students who might be struggling with some precarious housing situations and need a safe place to stay that is temporary. So this is something that our counseling center can support students with. It's important to note that these services are free of cost. They're covered under your student insurance. You also have insurance for counseling if you choose not to access counseling with TMU, but you can access counseling in the university, in the GTA community. So it's important that you know that you've got funds that you can use. And then all of our counselors are professionals, and this is a confidential service. So we are bounded by the laws of PHIPAA, which is the health privacy laws in Ontario. And that means we've got to protect your information. And it's not tied to any academic record, any sort of transcripts, right? So this is strictly private and strictly confidential. We also have the medical center, and the medical center, a lot of folks will not know this, but we do have a medical center that even if you have a family doctor and you need to see a physician, you can come to our medical center to see a physician. So you can have access to psychiatry through the medical center. We have a registered nurse and lots of different types of trainee. We just hired a dietitian. So if you require nutritional support, this is a referral that we can make for you to see someone on campus. And basically it's primary healthcare. So everything that you can get from a family doctor, our medical center can provide, but it's also important to note that it's not an emergency service. So if there's an imminent situation and you do need that support, you will have to, we would recommend, calling the university campus security, or again, similar like you would do in your home, call 911, go to the nearest emergency hospital. If you're on campus, that is St. Mike's Hospital, which is close to our location on campus. And then we do recommend that students consider exploring helplines. So, I often say with helplines, it's like customer service, right? Like I've had students talk to me about accessing helplines and they were really helpful. And then I've had students talk to me and say they weren't that helpful. So what I often like to say is give it a try. It can be overwhelming and I know it can be scary to reach out, but helplines are a good way to get 24/7 supports. And the thing that we want to emphasize with helplines is helplines are also very effective before crisis. So if you know you're struggling and you're feeling overwhelmed and you want to talk with someone and you're not feeling peer support, or, you know, or it's the middle of the night and you want to call someone, so, you know, we're not there on campus, it's important that you can call them and then you can have a chat with them and they can support you in making a plan. So these are some that we found really helpful. So Good to Talk, the Gernstein Center, and Keep Me Safe. And these are all listed on our counseling website. So when we do the walkthrough, I can show you where they're located. Okay, so we're just going to switch now to a live demonstration. And sorry, Deidre, because I'm having the technical difficulties here, would you mind pulling up for me the TMU Health Promotion website? So if you just do a Google for TMU, thank you.
No problem. So give me 1 second. Let me close some of the stuff that I currently have. Stacy, can you tell me which, so I have the accommodation.
Yeah, you can start, if you can start with health promotions, and then I can highlight those.
Okay. Now, where's the health promotion on here?
So if you go to if you just do a search for TMU Health Promotions.
TMU Health Promotion.
Yeah, my apologies for this.
Okay, hold on. I think I have it. Give me a sec.
Okay, awesome. That is it. So our health promotion site is actually currently under construction, but by September, it should be in a bit better shape. We've made some changes to it. So if you go down to peer support, so Deidre, if you don't mind clicking on peer support, which is on the side menu right there. Awesome. Yes, thank you. And then if you scroll down, Deidre, you'll see that our peer support is called the Wellbeing Learning Hub, and you basically can book individual peer support appointments. So if you scroll a little further, Deidre, you'll see it says book an appointment, and these are our 2 peer support specialists. So it's as simple as booking an appointment. So you click on book an appointment, a calendar will pop up, and you can basically book a time that works for you. The other thing you'll notice is if you scroll further down, we'll have access to all of our groups, and our groups will be listed here. So right now they're not on, but basically we'll have our group support groups, and then same thing, you will click on there and it will be easy to register for our groups. Deidre, if you want to scroll back up for me. So actually, if you extend, sorry, did you scroll back down? Sorry about that. And if you expand the group link, so right there, the plus sign, if you want to open that for me. So this is typically where our groups, these are the 2 groups that we just wrapped up this summer, but all of our groups will be listed here. And then it's simple as clicking the registration button at the bottom and you can register for our groups. The other thing we'll note, so the other thing is you're going to find, if you go to programs, on our website, that's where you're going to find sort of all of our workshops listed, and there'll be an expanded calendar. We're working on building this section out right now, but they'll basically have a list of some of our ongoing programming, our workshops, and you'll be able to, again, click on the various workshops, and you're going to be able to register for those workshops. Scroll back up, please, Deidre. If you click over to the counseling department, So this is our counseling website, and similar, all of the resources that I just listed are here. So if you're in crisis, you can click on that button and there's a listing of all the various helplines that you can access to support your well-being. If you wanted to book an appointment, you would also do that through here by either saying about our service, book an appointment, which is right up to the top of about our service. And basically, yep, there you go, or you can do it this way as well. And then you would just follow the prompts there and book an appointment. And that is also the same for the medical center. So thanks, Deidre. We can switch it back now to the slide deck. So I believe that was it for me. So now I'll hand it back to Deidre and happy to answer questions after.
I think you are muted.
Oh, sorry, I just realized I've muted myself. So sorry about that. So before we go into the Q&A session, I just want to show you the Academic Success Spotlight Survey for Health and Wellness. We're interested for all of you to give us some feedback in terms of how we did today. And if there's anything else that you would like us to include in the webinar, please let us know. This survey is anonymous. And what happened is after you fill out the survey, then when you hit the submit button, then you will see a thank you message. And in the thank you message is another Google form for you to put in your name for the event draw. So for the event draw, there are like 125 or 150 prizes of $20 one-card top-up. And there are also 10 $100 one-card top-up. And what is one card? One card is the your basically student ID that you'll be getting while you're during orientation. And that card is very useful. It allows you to borrow things from the library, including borrowing laptops. If you can also top up, you can put money into it so that you can actually buy things from the TMU eateries or the bookstore. And it also enables you to print, use the printer throughout the campus. So we decided the best thing to do is to load money and you can decide how you want to use it. So now we're going to go back to Mentimeter, and I'm going to open the last part, and that is I'm interested to know more about. So if you have any questions, please go ahead and let us know. I think you can enter it. There's no limit to how many questions you can ask from here. And once we're able to see it, then we will answer it live. Now, if it's not easy for you to navigate between your phone or your computer to Mentimeter, you can also use the Q&A in the bottom in the Zoom, and I can read it out, and then we can answer it live. I'll give you a few minutes to do that. I can see there's one question. Okay, so we have one question, but that is not related to, it's not related to health and wellness. The question was, when will course selection be posted today? And I think, Charlene, if you can find the link that talks about the course selection, or come and actually join us in the webinar for the D2L and also My Service Hub. That's where we're going to actually show you step by step everything about course selection. So maybe come and join that. Okay, Sarah. I think you probably have a better sense after going through that webinar to know where everything is and also the dates. But Charlene has also linked the course selection or course enrollment website for you in the chat box, so you can also take a look at that. Okay, so there's one question that's how can I join Thrive TMU? Do I need to send a request?
If you go to the Thrive TMU website, you'll see all of the information there. So yeah, so thanks. If you go to Thrive, and then you'll see, so you'll see they've got like their register for the fall session link, and basically you just press that and you sign up for all of you signed up for whatever parts of this that you would like, right? So if you would like to access the full program, basically you can sign up. If you've got any questions, or the link's not working, or or you have questions about signing up, you basically can contact Dr. Diana Breacher, who is the facilitator of Thrive, and she would be more than happy to help get you connected.
I want to add, this is really a fantastic program, because what happened is, in the 10 weeks, each week, they're going to concentrate on something, like tools and skills that you can hone on, and then you actually get to apply it and actively applying it into your coursework. And then you can come back and discuss what works, what doesn't work, and then they brainstorm and give you more more things to try. It's absolutely amazing. I've actually gone through the course myself on the facilitator side. And I always thought to myself, I wish I have something like this when I was in university. But this is actually amazing. What's also amazing is that it's a community of learners. So all the students, I remember there were students who come to our facilitating session and share with us their experience. And one thing that is very obvious is that community of learners. They all support each other, and the students in that course, they ended up being like really, really close-knit. So definitely check this one out.
Agreed. So much, Deidre.
Let me take a look to see if there are more questions on here. I don't see anything on the on this website, but if there's any other questions, you can also type in the Q&A and I can read it out and answer as well. Okay. Doesn't look like we have a lot of questions today. So if that is the case, then I am going to go to the next. Second. Okay. Here's just some general information in terms of how to get in touch with us. If you're interested in any help, anything related to health and promotion, you can go health promotion at torontomu.ca. For peer support, you'll be connecting with Connor, and we have Connor Blick-Borough, and we have highlighted his email here as well. For recreation, you can write to recreation@torontomu.ca, and definitely follow them on Instagram. There's the #TMU Student Wellbeing, as well as @recreation_TMU. So those are great ways to connect and know what is the most current. Again, thank you so much for joining us today. And Charlene will once again attach the survey. Make sure you give us some feedback, and also make sure that you put your name in for the event draw. So have a fabulous day.